One and a half to one, and then okay. Live,
right in there.
Smoothest intro ever. Welcome, guys. It's Awesome Hardware, episode 136, I think. Yeah, right.
136.
136.
Yeah.
I've lost count at this point. Once you get to 100, you're like, it all blends together.
It's 3 times a baker's dozen.
Wait, a baker's dozen is
not.
13.
It's 10. 10 baker's dozens plus
it's 10
plus half a dozen.
Did you say 3 baker's dozens?
Yeah,
that'd be 30.
Which
39.
is known as. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yay! What's up, guys?
We're happy to do the show today.
Yeah, it's good to be here. We're glad that you're here. This is a live tech news show, loosely, that Paul and I do every single Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, right here on twitch.tv/awesomehardware. We also stream live to YouTube's. Actually, we split it up into 2 halves on the YouTubes. Today, we're streaming to my channel first.
We are. This is your channel.
This is my side. This is side A. And then after about an hour or so, we'll switch over to Paul's channel. You can go ahead and check that out in the link in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or you can go to Paul's Hardware YouTube channel. Let's see. We like to have some fun on the show. It's pretty loose. We keep it pretty cash, and we tend to have a few drinks. So if you're of legal drinking age, then please enjoy. Feel free to enjoy an adult beverage with us during the show. It makes us a lot more enjoyable and entertaining. And you know what? What?
This mouse is on its way out.
Oh no! It's not because you don't have a mouse pad, is it?
No, it's just this.
Is that the Death Adder?
Yeah, the Death Adder.
You probably had it for a long ass time.
It's been a long. No, it's lasted a lot longer than it should have, considering that I check it into a backpack with no protection.
That's what I do for all my mice.
But the clickiness, it's clicking. It's double clicking. Like, it doesn't detect that I'm holding it down, so it like does a double click. So it's like if I'm dragging a window, it suddenly maximizes it. That kind of thing.
Makes it even worse when you're trying to resize Windows in Windows 10 when it doesn't let you.
Oh yeah, trying to find the handle.
Yeah,
it's not there.
Where's the cursor? So the other thing that we do on the show is we occasionally use adult language. So if you have little ones around, or if you have sensitive ears, then earmuffs.
Just clamp your hands tightly over their mouth and nose.
Because there will be no warning. We will not give you a warning if we decide to spew some sort of vile...
They won't hear anything.
Vile words.
They won't hear anything.
That's true, yeah. Just keep the earplugs in.
Ever again.
But overall, it's a pretty fun show. Hope you guys enjoy it. I saw some people in chat saying it was their first time catching us live. So welcome to the show. Cheers. Cheers to all of you. All you first-timers as well. We also sell things. In case you didn't know... we sell beautiful things. Our merchandise stores have really grown in the last year or so, going from just a couple shirt designs to an onslaught of things you can buy, like these beautiful pint glasses from Paul's Hardware's channel, or his store. Awesome Hardware
Large mugs with fancy pictures on them.
Yes, these are great mugs. Very high quality as well. Nice paint jobs.
Designs by Brian.
Good screening and printing on all of the shirts and glasses and decals and other things. Mouse pads. We both have mouse pads now.
They're awesome.
And if you guys happen to buy anything,
it's real good stuff.
We will shout Jansen. We'll shout Johnson at you at the end of the show. You'll get a double Johnson if you happen to pick up something from both of our stores during the stream. And it will be wild and intense, but you'll thank us later.
My store is good.
It is a good store. It is good. Every time I go on your website, Paul, I just think to myself,
look at that bottle opener right there, opening the bottle.
This is all very good. Yep, I still need to get a bottle opener like that. Those things are awesome. Although,
what?
I have an odd request. Maybe in a second generation, make it 2 or 3 millimeters thinner, so I can use it to fix my cold plate to my camera. That's the only thing that my NVIDIA one that looks exactly like yours has a leg up on.
Oh, it was able to do that?
Yeah, it's like ever so slightly thinner.
That would weaken the overall structural rigidity. I mean, there's
a lever. It's a steel lever versus a bottle cap, though. It doesn't need to be super reinforced. I would think you, of
all people, would want all the tools possible at your disposal for opening bottles.
This is true. This is a good point.
You don't want to cheap out in that area.
Oh, I also see the value in multi-tools these days. I have limited space.
Speaking of which, I should get us more beer.
Ooh.
We do need more.
I like the way you think.
I don't know what you can do while I'm gone.
I can definitely do some stuff, Paul. I'm great at bullshitting the stream. Thank you very much, Bazinga, for the $10 donation. You bring up a great point. Anyone who would like to donate through YouTube Super Chat is more than welcome to. We'll be reading all the messages you attach to those donations at the end of each half of the show. So rest assured, even though we don't call it out during the show, when you make the donation, you will be heard at the end. So thank you very much in advance for anyone who would like to show us some love in that way. Oh God!
Sorry.
I could, as soon as you did that, and I realized what bottle it was, for some reason, I immediately heard the Jaws theme song in my head.
I was
like,
I was
like, ah! That is the very same bottle. Well, not the exact bottle, but the same type of beer and everything.
It was the Chimay? Chimay Grand Reserve.
That caused all hell to break loose into my eye.
We'll open this momentarily.
Great. You will open that momentarily. I will help you drink it. Only once you've uncorked it yourself.
Be very careful with it. We should start sharing these with the audience, though. That's what.
Yeah, absolutely. So our first, good point, Paul. Our first topic, or our first segment, I should say, is Ask the Audience, where we ask you guys a few questions, and Paul and I sort of have to gauge or guess what your answers are going to be.
We postulate.
It's basically we postulate, and we're given sort of a quiz to test how well we know you as our audience. I mean, technically, you guys know quite a bit about us. We should know a lot about you too.
So we learn intimate things about the audience.
Absolutely, that's what this segment is designed for. So our first question for you guys. These are, answer honestly, if possible. I know it's hard to ask the internet that these days, but if you need it, imagine in a hypothetical situation that your gaming PC or whatever gaming system you're on currently completely died, and you needed a new gaming system in 2018. What would you do? How would you respond? Because things are crazy right now. Things are so DRAM, GPUs are so expensive. So a couple options here. First one is bite the bullet and pay out the ass for that GPU and DRAM. I need my games, man.
Mang.
That's Mang.
M-A-N-G is pronounced Mang.
You're right. I wrote it, but I can't pronounce it. Or you cry in a corner and put all gaming on hold if you dare. Because no way in hell are you paying for those prices. No way.
Take the path of stoicism.
Yep. Or you could buy a console that admittedly is reasonably priced, and then you go cry in a corner.
Path of the coward.
Path of the coward. Yes. So quite a great list of options you have there.
Yeah,
plenty of the illusion of choices has never been stronger. So go ahead and blow that up. Answer honestly.
Everyone, let us know how you feel.
You already covered YouTube and Twitch. You're on it. Or maybe Cell
I
did.
posted in Twitch and Cell.
Cell, by the way, thank you, Cell.
Spider's also. Hey, Spider.
And Spider. Long time no see, Spider. I thought you were dead. I'm glad you're not. And thank you
Can't kill
for being
Spider-Man.
here. That's true. Especially not his biggest fan. Spider fan. So thank you both, Cell and Spider, for being here and posting those links because I'm slow. Let's see. How do we usually do this? Do we usually just go on to the next one? We'll argue the first one.
We'll do a preview. A preview of the next one.
Yeah. All right, the preview of the next one. Next question.
So people can think about it.
The next question is, how has Intel overall handled this whole Meltdown and Spectre debacle so far? This is a very...
Fix, you said.
Fix, sorry.
Debacle, fix.
I guess they're somewhat interchangeable.
They're kind of the same.
Depending on who you ask.
Kind of the same thing.
So, I want to hear your guys' honest thoughts and opinions on this. They're doing the best they can. Way to go, Intel. Keep it up. Keep on giving us those faulty patches. Or, complete and utter garbage, to quote Linus Torvalds. Is that his name?
Torvalds, yes.
Torvalds. We'll be talking about him and his response later. Don't let that influence you on this on his question, though. Or AMD user here, so don't care.
Although you shouldn't be doing this if you're talking about Meltdown and Spectre.
This is a good point.
AMD is definitely still susceptible.
This is a good point. I actually added the Spectre in later because I was only going to address Meltdown. I forgot to change that. Albeit, I feel like even with Spectre, AMD users aren't quite in the hole as much as a lot of Intel users with Meltdown. But I guess that remains to be seen. Oh, it's weird seeing the checkboxes on the straw poll appear later.
It just happened.
I know. I was like, what's going on with the stream? Is it broken? Okay, so guys, go ahead and answer those as well. Let's move back to our first question though, and try to figure out what you guys are feeling when it comes to buying a new gaming system in 2018. If you were forced to respond in some way to this immediate need, what do you think our audience would do, Paul?
I'm gonna say the second option here, because you know, you can't spend money you don't have. You got to be fiscally responsible.
True.
Don't want to go getting a bunch of credit card debt or something on a $1,500 GTX 1070.
Yeah.
When the price may well drop back to normal.
Anytime.
Anytime, or never, or never.
Right, or never. Yeah, that's a possibility too.
But still, you know, you're not not going to let them do that to you. I think is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
For that.
Right.
So that's why option B is option B, because buy a console, I mean...
that would be my pick. Out of the three here, if you've already picked the second, I probably would have picked the second one too. But I think the third one is probably...
go for option 3.
I mean, because then you're spending probably $300 to $500 as opposed to, what, $2,000 now for like a mid-range system?
Yeah, well, I mean, it all depends on what GPU you're willing to pay for it. It sucks because there used to be some low-end options and some high-end options that you could buy at least MSRP.
Right.
And now you can't even really do that.
Can you, by the way, I don't even know this. It's probably a stupid question.
What?
But can you use keyboard and mouse with a console? It has USB ports. I don't know.
There are some...
The games are ported.
I know there's something with that. Yeah, I know there's at least a product that's an add-on that you can do it with, and I'm not sure about native support.
Okay. Maybe some games are supported. Maybe a small list.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But yeah, it's not the game. The problem that I went from, if I recall correctly from reading about it, is that the game is still looking at is still expecting a joystick, like a joystick input.
Yeah.
From the controller, so you can have a mouse, but the mouse movement is just simulating the joystick.
Oh.
Going. So I guess it's really weird and not natural as far as aiming. Like yeah. So
interesting.
So there you go.
Huh. Okay. Anyway. Well, you know where our votes lie, folks. Let's see what yours do.
Okay. Here's the results. I was right.
Yep, you were right. 45%. You were super right. Wow, actually more people would bite the bullet and pay the crazy prices than buy a console.
Look 34% of people are just willing to just pay money.
Wow.
We shouldn't I hope no one from the industry is watching this, because they're like, wow, look at those people.
Our market.
Those people will pay whatever price we're willing to sell it for.
Keep the prices where they are. In fact, raise them more.
Be richer and more powerful than ever.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's good to know where you guys stand.
Yeah.
Looks like, everyone has their breaking point. And I think this is it for a lot of us. You're not going to pay $800, $700 for a GTX 1070.
Yeah.
That you could have gotten for literally half the price when it first launched.
Or like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Like, gosh, anyone who's like...
Well, even then
anyone who's like, yeah, the Black Friday prices aren't that great, I'll wait. I'll hold out. Man.
Damn, you're probably regretting that decision right about now.
But hey, all right, let's there's always a bright side, right? There's always a silver lining. Often, when one buys computer hardware, there's this like immediate letdown afterwards because something newer and faster comes out that's cheaper, right? Mm-hmm. Like you just got the new Ryzen and the Ryzen 2 comes out or whatever, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Here's a situation where that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody just bought a GTX 1070 a month ago and now they're like, hey, this is now more valuable than when I first bought it.
Yeah.
Doesn't usually happen.
That's true.
Computer hardware. Anyway, it's probably a very select few people who are like, hey, yeah. But then most people are like, no.
Yeah.
That's stupid. All right. There's one final question.
Yes.
Let's take a look at that real quick.
This is a very simple, straightforward question.
It is.
I want to know. We both want to know. Are you guys watching us currently on YouTube Twitch, or both. We're not allowed to
you didn't include a fourth option there of just like neither.
but if they're going to answer the straw poll,
no, they're just watching us
in person. Yeah. You don't have any windows in here, do you? That one looks pretty covered up, but could be some webcams that we don't know about yet. That's just creepy. Now I'm all creeped out. Because you guys would do something like that too.
Yep.
All right. Don't look at the. We can't look at how many people are watching.
Oh, that's true.
On YouTube,
it's just
although it just hit 1337 on YouTube.
That's pretty awesome.
But at the same time, we don't know how many people are watching us on Twitch currently. I haven't opened the tab. We just have the chat open, pop out. So let's move back. Let's move back to our second question and try to figure that out. People's opinions, your guys' thoughts on how Intel's been handling the whole Meltdown and Spectre fix so far. Either good, bad, or you don't care. I guess we'll use the AMD one, even though it's not fully accurate, because as Paul mentioned, I did include Spectre there. We'll just consider that as like it doesn't really. I don't really have. I'm indifferent. We'll use that as the indifferent option. So I'll go first this time since Paul went first last time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say there's been so much reporting on Intel messing things up and not handling this smoothly that I think it's probably the common consensus now that their response has been complete and utter garbage, and this is a total train wreck. Intel, how could you do this to us?
It's a bold choice.
Not only
choice.
Not only did you screw us over,
completely unexpected.
I had to go with my gut.
Alright, so I will go with AMD user here, so shrug.
Okay.
Because I think they're doing the best they can. Way to go, Intel is probably not going to fare too well as an option here. So I'm aiming for second place.
Okay. Let's take a look here.
See if I can get my silver medal. There we go.
Wow. Okay.
Look at that, 35% AMD users.
Yep.
I bet that's a growing number for various reasons. This one being maybe part of it. Yeah, their response really hasn't been all that great. We're going to get more into that in a little bit, right? You have something to talk about on your...
Yes. Yes. Yeah. We'll be going in depth with that.
So
I think that's pretty expected. Yeah.
Yeah, they just... It seems like they've been focusing more on like choosing the right... The very carefully chosen words that they can say to talk about it that makes it seem like less of a crisis or an issue than it actually is.
Right. They're kind of downplaying the issue.
Versus being like, wow, this is a problem. We're going to do everything possible we can to fix things and make things right. Right. Like, that's I think that's what people are looking for, and that's not what they're hearing.
Yep.
But we'll talk more about that in a minute.
Yep.
Finally,
are you watching us
on
YouTube,
are people watching us?
Twitch, or Pornhub? I mean, both. We're not on Pornhub. Don't even look. Don't even try looking. Don't even type in our names or anything like that. You promise you won't find us.
I still want to lose viewers to Pornhub. That's the main problem.
All right. You can go for this next one, Paul. And bear in mind, people, and Paul, that for every wrong answer we get, we have to take a large swig of whatever beer's in our cup.
Well, right now neither of us have beers. So.
I know. At the final end of the segment, all of the punishments will be carried out. Rest assured.
That will be
okay.
Something to look forward to.
Yep. No baby oil. No baby oil.
I'm gonna choose the neutral option. Why not both? Because maybe people, dude. I mean, unless you're a data capped or something, then that makes less sense. But maybe people are watching us streaming both, and then you can switch between the
chats and stuff.
Yeah, there's so many benefits to doing that.
I wonder if anyone watches this on both at the same time, with the streams just playing at slightly different delays. We're just talking over each other. It's just like a really bad echo.
I wonder if someone watches both at the same time, but
syncs them.
Then the audio is actually like the audio from Pink Floyd The Wall, and it syncs up, kind of syncs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how it syncs up with the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
If you play the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like tripping on acid or something. As a friend once told me.
This is Chimay Grand Reserve Ale.
Chimay is a fantastic beer.
It's brewed by Trappist monks.
When it doesn't try to kill you.
In Norway? No. Where?
I saw some monks when I was at Disneyland yesterday.
This is from Austin, Texas.
I want one. Really cute.
Father Theodore. From the Abbey.
Hallowed be thy name. From the Abbey?
Yeah.
From the downtown Abbey? The Abbey is a bunch of... It's like a nun hangout spot, right?
Hmm?
Is the Abbey where a bunch of nuns hang out? Is that what an Abbey is?
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey?
It's a TV show.
Yeah, I know. I that's about as much as I know about Abbeys. Is that there was once a TV show that had
Abbey.
the word in its name.
Alright, I gotta get this open. Carefully, slowly.
Yes.
What's your choice here? Is Twitch or YouTube? That's the other reason why I chose both. I had to force you to choose what's your favorite. Who's your favorite child?
Now I know. That's why I'm having difficulty here. I'm gonna say YouTube though. It's like PTSD every time.
Trying to ice the kicker. That's what I was trying to do there.
Ugh, that was very climactic.
Chimay went to Vegas and back.
Oh, that's the one that you brought to Vegas.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not always kept at the right temperature.
You know,
so I hope
that's
it's
okay.
still okay.
I feel like had I stayed in the same hotel as you, you would not have come back home from Vegas with so much beer.
Probably
I would have
not.
helped you destroy
I really didn't.
all that beer.
There was not that much drinking in Vegas for this particular trip.
Oh, I failed you. See, next year we have to stay at the same hotel.
Yeah.
That definitely needs to happen.
Yeah, I don't think we'll
I think MGM was almost fully booked by the time I finally got around to booking.
Honestly, it wasn't really worth it. I thought
really?
location was somewhat convenient, but
Did you take the tram to the convention center much?
I never even went to the convention center, so that's probably...
Yeah. I went there once to meet up with Gamers Nexus, and I was there for about an hour. Then I went back to the hotel.
Yeah, so...
That was the only time I went to the show floor.
Alright, I'm trying to distribute this evenly. It's very challenging.
It better be matched to the millimeter.
It's pretty close.
It is. I think that is within millimeter distance. Millimeter height.
Milliliter?
Milliliter, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Alright, we got beer.
Okay, let's take a look. I said YouTube because, you know, I started on YouTube, and I guess I there's some bias there, but I love you both. Twitch, I love you. Don't hate me. Don't hate me.
Alright, let's see what the results are.
Twitch
Master Race
dominates. Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And no one watching on both, apparently. I had absolutely the wrong response there. Twitch.
So I have to see, though.
Twitch coming up big.
This is interesting.
Coming up big time.
Because...
It's impressive.
Actually, it doesn't even show that we're streaming here. Oh, okay. It's weird, though, because we have 882 people watching us on Twitch right now, and 1,400 people, almost double, like almost 1,500 people watching us on YouTube. Yet, the Twitch is just completely dominating the polls. So maybe YouTube's just lazy not voting.
YouTube viewers got to step it up, I think.
Voting is important, people. Your vote counts. And
it's
now
also important.
And now you lost this very important political argument.
That's well over a third of the Twitch viewers went and voted too. And that's not even counting the people who said why not both. I mean, because there are people there too. So I'm impressed all around. I'm gonna drink because I was wrong.
You drink two large gulps, and I'll have one for the one I got wrong.
It's still good.
Oh, it's delicious.
Right?
Oh, it's so good. It almost has like a grape flavor, like a grape aftertaste, which I like.
Grape, you say?
And you can see all the little bits, the floating bits.
Yeah, the floating bits, that's where the flavor comes from.
Mm-hmm.
This is also 9%. So something to Something to keep in mind there.
Absolutely.
All right.
But thank you very much for sticking with us for Ask the Audience. That will conclude that segment. Good job, everybody. Y'all did a great job answering polls and stuff. But next up, we get to move on to Pimp My PC. Again, interacting with you guys a bit to see just how terrible you guys are at PC building.
Yep.
Paul and I will point out your every flaw, tell you how you screwed up, and your life's a mess. But
YouTube links aren't working for the straw poll. That's what they said. It's all right.
Yeah, whatever. What's done is done.
I'm sure there will be a recount. Once it's people. There's a
maybe Cell is like closet Twitch master race, and he gave broken links to YouTube so that they couldn't vote on the poll, which is why Twitch won.
That would suggest that Cell is like some shadowy figure behind the scenes pulling the strings in ways that people couldn't possibly understand in order to manipulate their very opinions of things.
His level of knowledge and power does intimidate me. Everyone be on your best behavior on Cell. He will destroy you. He will rip you a new asshole with his penis.
He's a tender lover.
All right.
Let's talk about.
That's why we love him.
Talk about these things.
All right, Wyatt
Powell.
Wyatt. All right, Wyatt. You have an 8700K, a GTX 1080 Ti. Both of those things are worth a lot.
Yeah.
Especially the Ti. A Maximus Hero 10 Wi-Fi, X62 Kraken, G-Skill 16 gigs.
It's Kraken.
Crytex Anti-Pro. Love that case. Okay.
You okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I had a burp there.
I needed a minute.
Yeah. Right. Give me a minute. All right. What? I didn't realize that they made the Pro M in white. Did you? The interior? Did he paint that?
What?
Did he paint that interior? The Endu Pro M doesn't have a white interior.
Special edition.
Oh, it's a special edition.
Yes.
Wow. That looks beautiful. I love it. I haven't seen that one. I missed it somehow. But looks like you've got really good cable management. You know it's good when really the only cables that stand out to you at first glance are the ATX and PCIe.
Yeah.
Everything else is tucked away beautifully. Granted, the Endu Pro M also has great cable management for that. But you've utilized every grommet and cutout appropriately. Love those RGB fans, those L series fans from Corsair. Must have costed you more than the case.
Nice use of negative space with the framing of the picture there too.
Yep.
Yeah, so very, very, very clean.
Have you spotted it yet, Paul?
Spotted? What am I spotting?
Have you spotted it yet?
Look!
Is an awesome. Was the best case ever.
Look, there's awesome hardware and Bitwit logos on the side.
There are.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's super awesome.
We should see more of that.
This is the best.
You guys should do that more often.
It
makes me happy.
This is the best build that's ever.
I know. I don't think we've ever seen a more glorious system here on Pimp My PC.
I was gonna say some cable extensions might have topped things off, but I take it back.
No,
really,
it's perfect.
It's an ideal build.
Don't change a thing.
Yep. Perfect build. We shouldn't even talk about the rest of the builds.
No, we shouldn't.
Pimp My PC today.
You're all terrible compared to Wyatt's. But thank you very much, Wyatt.
Well done, sir.
Yep.
now, so many ways.
Now every submission is going to have like 30 decals on it.
Just
in the most untasteful places.
A pandering fest.
Yeah.
All right.
PanderCon 2018.
Brian Beaucamp.
Brian! The Super Tower, he calls it.
Okay.
Thermaltake Core W200, the Supermicro X10 SRA, and Intel Xeon E3 1620v3 at 3.5 gigahertz, 32 gigs of Supermicro ECC memory, and we've got an AMD Ryzen 1700X 4 gigahertz MSI X370 power titanium. So is this a dual
does not
system?
Compute. Wait, what? Oh, it's a flip system.
So it's a dual system, like two systems, one on either side.
Gotcha. Okay, and the X370X power titanium. Okay, all right. This is a business up front, party in the back is what I want to say.
Apparently, yeah.
So on one side of this case, is this a Case Labs case?
It's got wheels, so it might be.
There's the Core W200. that's the thermal take case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thermal take case. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's what it is.
It's one of the thermal take cases that looks very similar to a case lab. But we'll
look past that for now.
We'll skip that. All right, so it's a very nice liquid cooled system going on here. Interesting.
What's a mullet PC?
Mullet is part business up front, party in the back. That's what. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm out of the loop.
It's a boofoo. No.
A boofoo?
Never mind. No, there's an acronym for that. I always forget exactly. Never mind. All right. So what do we have to say here?
Okay. Are we looking at the nice side first?
Looking at the nice clean side.
Okay. Looks like you've got some PETG tubing in here.
Yeah.
Some hardline bends that are functional.
Yeah, I think they're not bad overall. All right, they're not like
super
wow,
artsy.
It looks super amazingly clean. The main thing I'm talking about here is going to be just your angles.
Yeah.
You have one very distinct angle from the tube. Sorry, when I mouse over it, it's doing that.
I know, I hate that so much. But I think Paul's right. Parallelism is your friend when it comes to tube bending.
Yeah.
The more parallel or perpendicular even that your tubes look, I think overall the cleaner it looks.
Yeah. So, or if you have an angle, try to repeat that angle with different bends throughout the build, so that it becomes a theme.
Yeah.
Your little loop that is right over here, going between the two graphics cards, feels a little awkward to me. There's other ways of doing that. I mean. I can see that, like, adding additional tubing, because sometimes it's just like, hey, I'm doing a liquid cooled build. I don't want to just do a direct connection from one GPU to another.
Yeah.
Add a bit of flare or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know. It's because it's going off to the side. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem.
It's not exactly. It's not exactly there for me.
Yeah.
I could see going through here the next time you're gonna flush the system and clean it out, and maybe retrying a couple bends just to see what you could do there. But
yeah,
that's just being picky. Overall, really nice, awesome looking build there. And I mean, I like that you've got a Supermicro server board with the Xeon build on the flip side of it, and over there it just looks horrible. With just cables everywhere, and you don't care, and it's like it doesn't matter because it's like no one sees that or knows it's there. Because really, all they see is the
pretty side.
It's the pretty side on the other side. So there it is.
Yeah. Jeez.
Anything to add, Cal?
I would say cable management would still serve you well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all of the standard critiques would apply with the flip side system here. Like, you could totally clean up all the cable management there.
Then again, how does cable management work in this case when there's a system on either side?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be creative with it, or work with the space that's behind all the trays for the hard drives or whatever. Yeah, because obviously that's a mess. That's a horrible mess right there.
It's gnarly.
But anyway. Nice, very, very nice, unique build there, Brian.
I'm sure it works just fine.
Yes.
Good job, Brian. Thank you very much for submitting that. Next up, we've got Dan. Mr. Dan with a Ryzen 1600, 16 gigs of DDR4, and an RX 588 gigabyte model inside of what looks to be a case.
That is
a budget-looking case.
Yeah,
not sure exactly what it is.
I thought it might be a brand here on these clasps, but it just says ODD. ODD for optical drive.
Yeah.
All right, so your case just strikes me as a very budget case.
Yeah, it might be the weakest link here, to be honest. Your CPU and GPU are great. You've got a 500 gig SSD in there.
He says he's got 2 terabytes of SSDs in here.
2 terabyte in hard drives.
Oh, look, you followed up with this picture.
Okay, so he's got some airflow.
What's he trying to tell us with this picture? By the way, I have an optical drive.
I have a fan underneath my optical drives.
With a fan. All right, so there's some additional...
Is that a mod?
Yeah, I mean, he positioned that in there. I don't know whether it's just set in there or whether he's got it fixed in there.
It looks like it might be
mounted this metal
to
piece
the optical
here.
Drive. I think he modded that.
Is this an old... Did he gut an old optical drive?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
to mount the fan?
Yeah. Because that way he could actually mount it into the optical drive bay, and then also mount a fan to the drive itself.
All right. Well, I applaud the creativity there. It all needs to be cleaned. I mean, it's just like you got your system's probably been used for a while. You got some dust buildup and whatever.
A lot of drives in there for such a small budget case too.
Yeah,
a lot of drives. 2 optical drives, 3 hard drives.
A new case with some better cable management that has maybe a more aesthetically appealing set of hard drive cages, like, right? Because there's cases that have hard drive setups that you can put a bunch of drives in, and I don't know, something about the drive, the edge of the drive sticking out with a bunch of SATA cables.
Yeah, get something like
doesn't look that great.
Get an N2 Evolve, or like get the new Fractal Define R6.
Define R6 that has some very good options for that.
Hella drive cages in that, drive trays,
and they're hidden.
Yeah,
so
behind that nice little wall. I think everything else looks great though. That's a perfect balance between CPU and GPU. Your cooler's on point, you know, it's just enough for the Ryzen 1600, no problem. Storage looks great. Power supply's fine. I mean, I'd remove the power supply sticker, but everything else is good. One thing I'll say, just from a component standpoint, is if you could afford to get, I mean, now's probably a bad time, but if you happen to land on a really good deal for some higher speed DDR4, since you are rocking Ryzen, I would try to hit, 2933, 3000 megahertz, or you can overclock. If you haven't overclocked that RAM,
Beardsky75 in chat pointed out, it seems to be on the floor, sir. It does appear to be on the floor, and
that makes a lot of sense.
I will heavily criticize that. Computer shouldn't be on the floor. Other than that, though, everything Kyle said, good job.
Yep.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Carlos Jaime. Carlos Jaime. With the i7-6700K, Z170A Asus motherboard, Hyper 212 cooler, GTX 960 graphics card, the S340 Elite case from NZXT, a Cooler Master Silent Pro 1000 watts power supply, 80 plus bronze, 16 gigs of G.Skill memory, 180 gig SSD, 1 terabyte, and 1 terabyte hard drive. All right.
Ketchup and mustard, I see it.
We got the single picture. This is our one picture here.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you got a no wait, is that an adapter? It looks like you've got a single 8-pin to 2 6-pin adapter.
Yeah, he's using the adapter there.
Oh, that looks. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
It's possible that's not even the. It looks like it might be a 6-pin there. Hold on.
What?
Need to zoom and enhance. Zoom and enhance.
No, that's an 8-pin, bruh.
No, look at the white plug.
Oh.
Right?
Can you do that? Zooming. Can you plug in a 6-pin
yes, you
to
can.
An 8-pin?
They're all the same connections to the same rail, as long as you're not pulling too much amperage across.
But can that deliver...
what?
Can that deliver enough juice?
For 18 gauge wire, there's a certain amount of wattage that can be drawn across it before the wire gets too hot and starts to melt the housing and that kind of thing. That's where there's more connections. So
is he at risk at all? If
probably not with the GTX 1060. He's probably just fine.
Or was it a 960 even?
Yeah, it's a 960, I think.
Okay.
He's probably okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's a 6-pin connector plugged into an 8-pin adapter.
What's crazy is that he has a 1000-watt power supply.
Yeah, which you would think would have that plug.
Why do you need an adapter
on it?
A Cooler Master Silent Pro 1000 watt.
So that's very strange. It's a very strange choice there.
What did you do with those other cables, Sir Carlos? I have questions for you. And why even have a 1000-watt power supply?
So Carlos, your 1000-watt power supply should really have connectors to plug in directly to those without using an adapter.
Maybe he bought it used on Craigslist for like $50, and that was the thing. It didn't have any
come with any of the modular cables.
Who knows?
That's a possibility.
But anyway.
But yeah, some replacement cables, something like that, to swap those out would be a very good idea and responsible. Beyond that, you got a clean looking build. Your cable management looks good. Your power supply you know, some extensions would clean things up a little bit when it comes to your cabling there.
Definitely.
You've got some sag on the GPU.
Big time.
That, you know, there's a couple options with potential ways to fix that, but may or may not be something that bothers you. Beyond that, you know, nice clean looking build. If you end up fixing the power supply issue and you upgrade your graphics card and whatever, and you're still looking for something else to do, the Hyper 212 is something that is an excellent value and entry level cooler, but at some point it starts looking not quite as nice as the rest of the components in a build like that.
Definitely. Also, does he not have fans at the front?
They might be on the... Can they be on the other side of that?
They could, but it would pretty much restrict all airflow.
Huh.
So if you have fans underneath your front panel, I would highly suggest putting them on the inside of your case.
Yeah.
Behind the dust filter, not in front of it.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Final submission from Blaze.
Blaze!
With a Ryzen
1700
GTX 1070 G-Skill Trident Z RGB series memory kit, 16 gigs of DDR4 3000.
Pretty high-end system.
Yeah, it's also a good kit. Works very well with the Ryzen stuff. 500 gigs, 500 gigabyte 960 EVO SSD. Deepcool Captain 240 liquid cooler. Asus RG Strix X370-F gaming motherboard. And an EVGA Supernova 650 80 plus gold 650 watt power supply. All right, so nice build.
Yeah.
There it is with the lights on.
The only real triggering thing to me here is that the fans are mismatched on your radiator. That bothers me. The OCD in me is
so you got like
my brain's like that's perfectly fine, but my heart hurts.
Your heart hurts.
I don't know. I am a stickler about the fans matching, especially when they're on the same radiator. I mean, come on. It looks so clean when they're all the same fans.
Yeah, I don't know. It's because it's 2 and 2.
Yeah,
like
but I'm just aesthetically. I mean, just like it would look very uniform. You know, if every fan in this case were those Corsair Maglevs, it would be perfecto.
Yes, all right. Having the same exact fan throughout the case would look a little bit nicer.
Yeah,
but I don't know. This doesn't bother me that much.
Okay.
It's almost like I don't know why this won't get bigger.
It wouldn't bother me so much if they weren't so different. Like the fan frames are so like they're the most different and contrasty as you could possibly get between two fans. Those maglevs are extremely stylized, and it just looks they clash to me.
I'm picturing
in
like
a very big way.
Did you ever draw when you were a kid? Right? Did you ever draw a gun? Like you'd try to draw like a really cool gun. Yeah. And you would just make it bigger and bigger, right? It'd just be
just keep adding shit onto it.
And there'd be like a section here, and then like another part, and then part of the barrel, and then like another,
Yeah.
And so that's what this kind of reminds. It's like different pieces together. I don't know. That's.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's fine. It's not like I'd look at it and be like, oh, cancer. I'm just saying, like, it's such an already clean looking build that I have to nitpick something.
All right.
That's the thing that I go to.
So that's what you're going to.
It is very clean. I mean, it's hard to really pinpoint anything else on this system. I mean, even like the stock PSU cables that you're using look decent. Like you've routed them well. You've utilized all the right grommets and stuff in the this Enthu case here, or no? Is it an Enthu case? It's Vantex.
It's
Eclipse.
What?
Right. This is an Eclipse P400, maybe?
He didn't say.
From the front panel, it looks like it might be an Eclipse P400. But at any rate...
It's definitely Fantex.
At any rate, I'm digging it. I mean, maybe the wiring could be a little tighter coming off of your CPU block, the water block, but it's honestly not bad at all. It looks really good. You even have like a nice Fantex LED strip on the power supply shroud, and I have no other questions, Your Honor.
Okay, good.
Looks great. Let's move on. Good job, Blaze.
All right.
Don't listen to me. Keep those fans.
Are we doing face-off?
We can skip it since we're already halfway.
We've already been going for a while now.
Yeah, let's get on to the news and see how we are then.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to some tech news. I told you guys we would circle back to the whole Intel's response to the Meltdown fix. Or the Meltdown exploit.
You did say that.
So here we are. Specifically, this article's from TechCrunch, and they're just kind of talking about Linus Torvalds' response to the way Intel's been handling the situation so far. Basically, Linus Torvalds is a very experienced, fairly well-known coder when it comes to Linux systems. So he's pretty well respected in that.
He's kind of the father of Linux.
He's kind of the father of Linux, as Paul mentions. And he is pretty enraged by how Intel has handled the situation so far. He's been exchanging emails between himself and David Woodhouse, who's an engineer at Amazon in the UK. And among the email responses, Torvalds claims that the patches, and this is a quote, the patches are complete and utter garbage, and also, has anybody talked to them and told them they are effing insane? He didn't say effing, he said fucking. He said, are they fucking insane?
That's why we have the warning.
That's why I said the fuck word in front of the KIDS.
Yeah.
He also argues that the so-called security fix that Intel recently rolled out a couple weeks ago was implemented poorly and essentially does nothing, while also introducing redundant fixes that Google's Project Zero has already sort of implemented themselves. The fix, I actually haven't installed the fix or updated to the fix yet. So I haven't
done
really
any of the Windows patches.
I haven't experienced this myself yet.
You haven't done any of the hardware BIOS patches.
The hardware BIOS patches.
Because that's what he's pissed about.
Yeah, is the hardware.
What Linus is pissed about.
The BIOS patches.
Is Intel responding to this in a way that doesn't treat it as something like it's talking about the pre-boot environment when you're starting up a computer. Yeah. And the way that they're setting a flag, so you have a bit that can be in a 1 or a 0 position, and that's the bit is in the position that says this CPU is compromised and fixable, or this and should it be and should you implement the fix? Right. So if they flip it, then it implements a fix. So what he's accusing them of is doing a half-assed fix that still allows vulnerability because it's something that can be turned off. Mm-hmm. And it's because in a lot of the situations when they implement the fix, because of how it affects branch prediction, which is one of the ways that Intel CPUs became very fast, is by like it's doing a series of calculations. It knows there's a good chance that you might do A, B, or C. So it just goes ahead and figures out what the results of A, B, and C are. Right. You're going to choose A, so you choose A and you go down that path. It figured out B and C, it discarded those. So that basically, when you take away its ability to do that, because inherently in that function there is where the vulnerability lies. When you take away its ability to do that, depending on what you're doing, and specifically in server scenarios, it hurts the performance significantly, as much as 20%, which is a huge drop-off. And I think in the article it references Lyft. Was it Lyft who actually referenced after they did their server updates, they saw something like a 20% performance hit or something like that. Oh, wow.
I didn't see that.
It might not be in this specific article.
Yeah, not in this one.
Might be something else. But yeah, it depends on the situation. If you're a home user and you're just doing typical day-to-day stuff on a home PC and playing video games and that kind of thing, it's not going to affect you that much. It's not going to hurt your performance that much. Yeah. There have been some people, Hardware Unboxed has done a decent amount of testing so far. There's probably going to be more testing going on to actually see, like, does this affect gaming performance and that kind of thing. Yeah. It's been fairly minimal in that respect. But a lot of this has to do with how it's going to impact people who run server farms and that kind of thing.
Right.
Because that's where a 20% drop off in performance is like
devastating.
Yeah, devastating.
Yeah.
That's the right word.
Big time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, and then, you know, Torvalds is also asking why this implementation has been installed at such a low level, I guess, if Intel's claiming that future processors won't actually need it. That, you know, it's just this generation of CPUs and the ones before it that are affected. There shouldn't be such a low level addition here. And he's also saying that their technique, Intel's technique, is so inefficient that a universal rollout would cause widespread slowdowns. And so instead, Intel's made the main Meltdown fix optional and added the redundant stuff to make the patch look more comprehensive. So Intel's basically saying, like, what he thinks is that Intel's trying to buff up the appearance of their fix to be more than what it is by throwing in a bunch of redundant fixes, so to speak, that aren't really necessary, and that they're not really actually attacking the heart of the issue. So it seems like for now, and I think Intel, like maybe a day ago, admitted that their fix was crap, right? They made some sort of public statement saying
their public statements are very, like, everything is so, like, you know, when, like, they passed every email and communication through, like, 8 different PR people at different levels to have them make sure that the language was so precise and yet ineffectual,
right,
in its completes, yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, they admitted and warned that some of the microcode updates that have been distributed through motherboard manufacturers, so the BIOS updates the CPU microcode to fix the CPU to make it not, or to basically remove the bug that makes it vulnerable to Meltdown, for example. Those have been causing instability, blue screens, that kind of thing.
And did you get the sense that in that public statement, Intel was kind of throwing the motherboard vendors under the bus? I kind of got that. They were like, we urge all motherboard manufacturers to thoroughly test early versions of the fix before releasing them. I was like,
yeah,
it was your fix. Like, it's not like you should have thoroughly tested it before you gave it to them.
Yeah, so
type of thing. Where I was like, it seemed like they were sort of pointing blame a little bit, trying to.
Nothing I've seen from Intel has like accepted full responsibility,
right,
or used the right language that indicates that they're treating this with the proper level of seriousness that it deserves.
Yeah,
based on the amount of vulnerability that's been introduced.
Yeah, exactly,
so,
and that's sort of like why Linus Torvalds is kind of like you know, he's a controversial character at this point because in one regard he could be written off as like this loudmouthed menace who's just, you know, way too triggered and needs to calm the F down, or an Intel hater or whatever.
He's kind of known for his rants.
He is super known for that.
But he's also known to, like, he's able to do the rants because he actually knows what the hell he's talking about.
That's the other thing, is that at the same time he could be he's being looked at as like sort of this unsung hero that knows his shit well enough, better than any of us do, but better than most of us do, to look at the code that Intel's putting out there and saying, this is all wrong. And I guess if you're the only person, or one of the few people who knows something that everyone else doesn't, you kind of have to be loudmouthed about it. Otherwise, you kind of just get drowned out by all the other voices who don't really know what they're saying. So in a sense, it's like, it's kind of good, and that's sort of what the authors in this article from TechCrunch is saying, is that Linus, as crazy as he sounds, I mean, he's at least sort of helping us in a way. He's ensuring that we don't get screwed over in this whole process, and that Intel's actually doing the best they can to resolve the issue. And you know, and he knows he can see the code, and it's like he has a third eye or whatever that we don't. So he's kind of an anti-hero.
What if his third eye was blind?
Oh, and then he made a band and named it after his third blind eye. I don't know where we're going.
It's one of those things I immediately regretted after saying it. So let's move on.
Let's move on. Good segue, Paul,
Yeah.
into our next article,
Thank
which
you.
is from eTechnics about NZXT. This is a really quick one. NZXT lowering the price of their new N7 Z370 motherboard, which I kind of saw this coming. NZXT was, out of all the vendors that we saw at CES, NZXT was probably the one we least expected to show off a new motherboard. In fact, it was their very first, the N7 on the Z370 platform for Intel Core CPUs, 8th gen. And yeah, it got pretty good feedback based on the sort of feature set and all of the cam integration, Hue Plus and Grid Plus integration that a lot of people are fans of, and also the look. I think it's a very unique style. It's just good to see something different at the end of the day. Whether you like the style or not, I'm glad that there's some innovation in that front. But it was $299, which when they first told me that price, I was like, "Aw, this could have been like a board that sold well." Kind of thing. Where it's like, if you're selling it for $300, especially when there's like Gigabyte and Asus and ASRock, who are selling boards that have similar feature sets, granted without the NZXT stuff, for half the price, most gamers aren't going to go for that. So they've listened to fan feedback so far, and they've cut it down $50 to $249, which I think is still steeper than most gamers would want to afford.
For mainstream Intel, I feel like most people are looking in the $150 to $200 range, maybe low 200s.
Yeah.
250 to 300 is starting to push it.
HEDT.
And there it's just like there's only so much a motherboard can do for you when it comes to connectivity and features and that kind of thing. Like,
exactly.
You know, it's as long as it's got decent power delivery, it's not going to make your CPU that much faster. And yeah, so it's hard to say like, look, spend your extra $50 to $100 here, versus like, oh, spend your extra $50 to $100 getting, you know, the next tier up of CPU that has, you know, hyperthreading instead of not hyperthreading, or you know, getting more memory, or getting the next tier up of graphics card. Just stuff that you can more tangibly say will help you in what you're doing with your computer.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's an interesting product because NZXT is a very well-known, reputable brand, but their motherboard partner that they're working with for this board is ECS, who's kind of an underdog in the whole motherboard market. I mean, they're not really known for being like one of the big dogs, so to speak.
I hadn't heard that. I didn't know that was an ECS.
Oh, really?
No.
They told me at the suite. They were like, we're not trying to hide anything. We're working with ECS on this, and so that's the bare bones componentry. It's an ECS board at heart. And ECS boards, you know, they're kind of more, I feel like, on like the sort of entry level side of things. But I feel like because NZXT swooped in and slapped on their own flair, they're like, we can totally. They probably like had to, you know, they've definitely had conversations with ECS where they're like, look, we can sell your boards for like double the price because we're slapping our name on it, type of thing. Which is fine as long as you're giving a fair amount of features. But I don't know. I just don't know if selling the entire NZXT ecosystem is going to warrant $150 extra to the price for most people.
Like ECS, I think they don't have as good of a reputation in the US. I'm not sure. I think they do a decent amount of business in China, and I'm not sure as far as the larger Asian market or that kind of thing. But like, for me, it's like, all right, NZXT, if that's a brand that I know a little bit better than ECS, maybe I haven't heard of ECS before, then maybe the NZXT name makes me trust it a little bit more, and a little bit more possible that I might invest in this compared to like other options I've heard of, like Asus or Gigabyte or something like that. But what are you getting with this board that's competitive at the $250 price, right?
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I see surface mounted power and reset. Are you getting the next gen USB 3.1 connector?
They don't have that on there.
It's not on there. Are you getting? Is there a debug LED on here?
There is, but it's under one of the M.2 slot covers.
What?
Yeah, it's under this slot. I don't know why they did that. They're...
Alright.
You have to remove it in order to see it. It's like right here on the left side. I was like, that's a weird place for
I'm
it.
torn about that, because debug LEDs, the only way they irritate me is when they can't turn them off, like that one right there.
I guess you could, yeah.
I'd like to disable that one right there.
But at the same time, you can instantly know that Arctic Panther is running perfectly fine, just at a glance.
Oh yeah.
At a glance monitoring.
It says AA, which
bitches.
means A-OK. That's what that means. But yeah, it's got to be competitive, you know, and there's only so much a motherboard can do, I guess, so... Right.
Yeah.
But if the thought is ECS plus NZXT, 7 letters, combine them together and it's NZXT.
Nessus XT. What does that even look like?
I don't know what that sounds. It sounds delicious.
Oh my god!
When I'm trying,
can't even. This looks like
an ECS
looks horrifying.
ZT.
Spell out Nessus XT on your notepad or something. It looks horrifying.
All right.
That's why you're not in marketing.
All right. Here's the point I'm trying to make, though.
Yep.
If NZXT, through branding and maybe a look and feel update, can help ECS sell their $150 motherboard for $150, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
If NZXT plus ECS and this fancy plastic cover that they put on here makes them think that they can sell $150 motherboard for $250, that I think is stupid.
Yeah.
Or at least should be called out, like, actually,
right.
Hey, you're paying more money for this for the looks or whatever
Yeah.
you're getting there. I can't say if that's the case or not, but
I think
that would be my opinion.
I think the most compelling thing for me about this board is if you're just decided. If you're decided that you're going to get a Hue Plus. Because this has it built in.
Oh, yeah.
Hue Plus is what, $50?
I don't
Ish?
know.
I think the last time I checked, it's about 50.
Don't know how much
So now with the new price reduction, this is the one area I can justify it in where it's like, okay, it looks cool and it looks different than any board that I want.
Oh, is it metal? Is it a metal cover?
It's a full metal shroud.
It's a metal shroud. I thought it was plastic.
It's totally metal. Did you see it? Did you go to NZXT?
I didn't go to NZXT.
Okay. Yeah, it's full metal, and the board has a lot of heft to it. It feels very like heavy and stuff and sturdy. Not even Asus has like the. I think that even they use plastic on their Tough Series boards. So very high quality. I mean, I got to test it out and stuff, just sort of feeling it. It is nice quality. But what I was going to say is, if you were just decided that you're going to get a Hue Plus in your system anyway, it's $50 right there. And if you're really digging into the style, the sort of aesthetic here, and they even have like swappable heat sinks, like the VRM heatsink and the chipset heatsink, those can be swapped out for different colors that they sell separately and stuff. Mm-hmm. If you're really jiving, if you're digging the aesthetics, and you're gonna get a Hue Plus, then that's my strongest argument for this board, I think.
Okay. Because
you're still not getting, there's a couple other things that it's missing, but if you're getting those two things, if you're into those two things, then technically it's like a $200 board, right? Then it's like that's like you're paying $200 for the board and you're getting the Hue Plus thrown in, right? You're gonna buy a Hue Plus anyway, and you're saving space in your system from not having to have that thick 2.5-inch but super thick module.
It's a very thick module.
It's fairly thick.
Super thick.
But you guys let us know what you think in the chat. Let's move on to our next story. I hope NZXT does well with this board, because if they don't, they probably won't release any other motherboards. They'll be like, let's just can this and never do this again. I hope that they learn from it and get better. I'd like to see more options in the motherboard space. I feel like we do so many builds so often that it's like, all right, is it going to be a Gigabyte board, Asus board? It's all the same shit after a certain point. So variety is good. But moving on here, let's talk about some more variety when it comes to your Radeon RX Vega 56 cards.
Oh, what a segue that was.
Ayo.
I like it.
Sapphire, according to WCCF Tech, is planning to release their new RX Vega 56 Pulse.
Oh, you mean this story?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know.
It's fine. I was on the other one.
You're on the AMD one. The RX Vega 56 Pulse is expected to hit store shelves next month in February. This was spotted in the wild by videocards.com.
MSRP listed?
Yeah, they do. It's 970 US.
Really?
Okay, so the article says 789 euro, which I converted to 970 US. But that is the current price that it's set to.
Okay. I mean, I feel... what refreshing honesty.
Which is kind of confusing to me, because if this hasn't really reached many retailers yet, I thought I was told by the internet, who would never lie to me, that the GPU prices that we're currently aren't determined by the manufacturer but by the retailers. Right? Have you heard that? It's not the GPU It's not the GPU and board partners' fault. They're not in control whatsoever of the prices. It's all the retailers. It's Newegg and Amazon. It's those guys who are setting these prices. But this hasn't even hit the retailers yet, and they're already quoting a 789 euro or 970 US dollar price tag. So really, are the retailers the ones that are in control of the pricing? I don't know. It seems like Sapphire has something to do with this, or at least AMD. I don't know. It's crazy though. $1,000 for a card that was supposed to retail for what? 400? 500? The air-cooled RX Vega.
I'm so confused. I think $399 if we took them at their word. Air-cooled Vega 56 is supposed to be $399.
Yeah. And now it's more than doubled. Yeah. Holy moly. Holy moly. You didn't even get a third fan. Dual fan, cooler. I mean, it looks nice. Fine. Sure. It looks fine. Does it look $1,000 nice? I
gotta be honest, for $1,000 I would expect more than a plastic shroud.
Like, give me some metal in there.
For $1,000 I would expect more than...
Oh, that's a weird backplate.
Crappy plastic. I'm just gonna be super critical of all graphics cards.
Yeah.
You're expecting me to pay $1,000 for this plastic piece of shit? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you kidding me? Look at this aluminum fins. These are aluminum. These should be gold plated. For $1,000,
would that make
I should have at least gold on there.
Or would that make it more
6mm heat pipe? Come on. My God.
And why are the PCIe plugs in the middle of the card? I don't like it when they do that. They're right smack in the middle. What case manufacturer makes grommets that accommodate middle positioned power supply or GPU outlets?
Oh yeah, it's right here. It's because the PCB only goes out half the card. Look at this. You're paying me. I'm paying $1,000, and I only get half a PCB.
I should get $1,000 worth of PCB.
That's garbage. It's trash.
That's disappointing. Disappointing.
Anyway, I'm going to be reaching out to Sapphire for a sample.
Yeah, I'd love to get one of these. Anytime you guys want to do business, hit us up. We'd love to push your product.
I have any Sapphire samples. No, for real though. Like, I guess that's what we should probably do now,
right?
If they're gonna charge double,
it has to be reviewed accordingly.
Like, all right,
it has to be reviewed accordingly.
For $1,000 in the past, what have you gotten for $1,000 in the past? A Titan X, right?
Yeah, a Titan X. You're gonna trade that in for a Vega 56?
The metal on this graphics card should be spray painted black. I will accept nothing less than spray painted black metal like they do with the Titan X. It makes it look really cool.
I kind of feel sorry for Sapphire here because you know that they've been in development with this product well before the insane price hike of GPUs. Like they're probably like hoping to get this in at a more competitive price, like what Vega 56 was going for before CES. And then right when they're about to announce it, they're like, hey guys, by the way, yeah, GPU prices have pretty much doubled all across the board. Fuck. We were
they don't
totally...
care. They don't care though.
I mean, but
but
shouldn't they? Shouldn't they care? How many of these are they going to sell? They're probably hoping to sell a lot more at half the price.
It doesn't matter if they're all selling. They're only charging.
If they are,
they're only charging $970 if people are buying them for $970. That's how it works. They would not announce that price as the MSRP unless cards were moving at that price. Cards 1070s wouldn't be selling for what they're selling right now on eBay and that stuff if people weren't paying for that. People are buying these cards for this amount of money.
This is a great
chances are they're not gamers.
This is a great mining card.
They're probably not gamers doing it. There's probably a much smaller percentage of gamers doing that versus people who are buying the cards thinking like, I'm going to get this and mine the cryptocurrency.
I'll make it back in a year and a half.
Bitcoin's obviously going to be worth $100,000. So, also, idiots buying these cards thinking they're going to mine Bitcoin for some reason. That's just...
Yeah, okay.
You're not going to mine Bitcoin. You're going to mine altcoins.
Altcoins.
All Bitcoin mining
Ethereum.
currently is done by ASIC farms because Bitcoin was taken over by ASIC farming back in 2014, 2013, whatever. It's altcoins and other stuff like that that's been supported. But anyway.
Are you mining? How do you know the intricacies of mining?
I'm not mining. I've never mined. I have no Bitcoin wallet. I own no Bitcoins. I own no cryptocurrency at all.
That's solid information for someone who doesn't mine.
I mean, I try to follow. I make tech videos.
Industry trends. I guess this is true.
Some idea of what's going on with the hardware or whatever.
People in chat are getting suspicious.
Yeah. No,
there's just a giant,
there's
a giant mining rig behind us.
There's a widespread conspiracy that I have like a big farm of mining, a big mining farm going on. Anyway.
All right. Well,
can't wait for Sapphire's crazy overpriced graphics card to come out.
Yeah. So, who even cares at this point?
Looking forward to that.
Does it even matter? Let's talk about something that's probably a little bit more affordable, which is Motherboards. Gigabyte and ASRock specifically have launched their Gemini Lake motherboards. First Gemini Lake motherboards to hit the market. This is from Hexus. Thanks, Hexus. These two motherboard manufacturers have launched motherboards on this platform with pre-installed Intel Pentium Silver and Celeron CPUs. So this is pretty bare bones, like entry level, all right, lower end stuff, but still. All three boards seem to only be fitted with quad-core processors, model number J4105, which is a Celeron chip. That can turbo up to 2.5 gigahertz. But Gigabyte is saying that its JN series boards will offer the option for the latest Intel Pentium Silver chips as well. So we'll have to wait for that. All the boards are fanless. So the CPU you can see is being topped with a passive heatsink. It's a very small, low-profile aluminum heatsink. So completely silent in that regard. Also kind of gives us an indication that these are fairly low-powered CPUs, but they are capable of delivering some 4K video playback, according to the article, which would make great HTPC or something like that.
Intel's page for these says, products formerly Gemini Lake. Sorry.
What do they have, like a lake change?
No, it's because Intel, it's a code name. It's not their shipping name. So even though we can easily identify all of the products in this family by saying Gemini Lake, according to Intel, now that the product is launched, Gemini Lake, we can't say that anymore. It's a code name.
Intel's so corporate.
Formerly Gemini Lake.
It's kind of sickening.
Pentium Silver J5005, Pentium Silver N5000, Celeron J4105. These are all quad cores and dual cores. That came out at the very end of 2017, all in the 1.1 to 2 gigahertz range, and they're pretty much all being used in little SoC environments.
Yeah, which Gigabyte...
We saw Zotac actually demoed some of their really, really teeny tiny computers based on this platform. So.
Yep. These will be available in pre-builts, including the Z-Box Minis from Zotac and Intel Nooks.
Dogs!
I believe your wife is home.
Dogs.
But yeah, you guys can go ahead and check it out. I'm not going to read off all the specs here because we're short on time, but those are coming soon. Let's go ahead and read off Mommy Be Home. I'm going to read off some donations comments here. So Good lord. Is your wife home?
I don't think so.
Oh. The dogs are just getting excited for nothing.
They just decided they heard
Calm
something,
down, hero.
so they should bark.
You can murder someone another day.
Noise.
All right. Starting with Scott Dilbeck, our first donor of the evening.
Scotty.
Cheers. Dope shirt, Kyle. Why, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I do like the shirt. Paul, how you liking the truck a few months in, and how are the puppies?
I'm enjoying the truck. It's good to have a truck. Puppies are good, as you can hear. They're loud and exuberant and everything. And yeah, I gotta do a VIN verification on the truck tomorrow.
Ooh.
Could go to the CHP.
Validate
Finally
that
get
VIN.
my California plates.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah. I see you in chat. Kyle, you look like Dominic Cooper. You watch The Preacher? No, I do not. But I've been told that I look like that person before, and I hardly know who that person is. But apparently it's true, because more than one person said it.
Okay.
And multiple people don't lie. Also, Bazinga X, $10. Love the skit you and your wife did about GPUs. So was she really a minor when you started dating?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He's referencing the sketch that I did on GPU mining earlier today. You can go ahead and check that out on the channel. It's live now. No, she was not a minor when we started dating, but she was not 21 when we started dating, and I was. So it was weird because I'd be like, "Oh, I planned a date for us. We were gonna go to this cool bar, and then we're gonna go to a lounge." She'd be like, "I remember, I'm not 21." I'd be like, "Fuck, you suck. You suck. You suck so much." So yeah, there was that.
Go without her, right?
And then I just left her at home.
Yep.
And then it all worked out. Leave your dates at home, people. It's the best way to get close to them. Matt Grimes, $10. Kyle and Paul, the paint on your glasses suck.
Paint? What?
One trip through the washing machine and it's almost gone. Otherwise, love the show and you too. What? No. No.
No, that shouldn't be the case.
I've washed these 1,000 times and they're perfectly
too.
fine. Like, these are holding up phenomenally well.
This is the first set that I got, I think, over a year ago.
Yeah.
And there's...
And you use a dishwasher.
This doesn't come off. I don't know. What?
You use a dishwasher.
We actually don't have a dishwasher.
Oh, you don't have a dishwasher.
But I've heard from lots of people who have dishwashers. It doesn't come off.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I don't know what you're using.
No, these things are super high quality.
Yeah.
Like, mine are completely perfect from, like, basically since the day I got them. So, I don't know. Maybe double check your washing, your dishwasher settings. Make sure it's not on like molten lava or something.
Yeah, or like steel wool or something.
Or steel wool. If you're actually legitimately concerned, maybe email our merchandise guy John, and maybe he'll have, because he knows more about the actual printing process and screening process than we do. So maybe he'll have some tips or something as to how to best care and maintain the decals and stuff. So looking at that. But thank you very much for the donation nonetheless. Matt Grimes, $10. Kyle and Paul, the paint. No, wait, that's the same thing.
It's Matt.
That's Matt again. Zachary Hummel, $20. Watching awesome hardware, drinking beer, and tube bending from my new dual loop. Great way to spend a Tuesday night. That sounds awesome.
It does.
That sounds like
good luck
a lot of my Tuesday nights.
Tube bending, Zach.
If I weren't doing the show.
Bend those tubes.
Pup Shepherd, $10. When I lose YouTube partner February 20th, because I only get 2,400 hours a year and only have 633 subscribers, will I still be able to schedule videos? Also, mail time. Mug. Yes, I'm getting rid of the mug. I meant to go today, but wifey sauce, I forgot to tell her to go to the friggin' post office and get that stuff for me. But soon. Wow. YouTube's shutting your channel down because you only get 2,400 hours of watch time a year.
We're going to talk about the YouTube partner updates on my half.
Yeah, I hope we do. That's silly. That's silly. 2,400 hours. That seems like a lot of hours to me. So, well, yeah. We'll discuss on your
per
half.
year.
Per year, yeah, I guess. TV Chow!
TV!
For the $5. I got to my official honorable discharge. Oh, he got an honorable discharge.
That's good. That's way better than the dis ones.
I got my official honorable discharge paperwork from Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam can suck my dick.
He didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that. I threw that in for dramatic effect. If the shit hits the fan and the draft happen, I just going to RAF in veteran. What does that mean?
It's a language that you learn when you become a veteran? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've not heard of that. I hope no draft is required at all in the near future.
And with Trump, you never know. Who would be the last person to have the right to initiate a draft? Anyway. Honorable discharge. I don't know if that's good news or bad news. That's
fine.
Sounds bad.
Means he's being discharged from the army, and it's honorable. So
what's honorable?
Means he doesn't have to be in the army anymore.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a dishonorable discharge.
Those are the bad ones.
Yeah. So good job on being discharged honorably.
Good job, Thievy.
You're an honorable person, Thievy. Thank you very much for donating. MB67, what up? 13.37 donated, the perfect amount. You should all donate elite amount as well. I have nothing important to say other than I really like your $10,000 elite build. Cheers. Well, cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
I like it too. I'm actually going to start using it full time starting tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Exciting. Very exciting.
It's always good to use those types of things.
Right? Dingo on my 40. $5. Super chat. I have mixed feelings about that, but I do appreciate the enthusiasm. Thank you very much, Dingo. Hack Rice, $5. Hello, love your videos. I tweeted you guys about getting my i3-8100 to work on H110 motherboard. Don't know if you saw it or not. Tell me what you think. An i3 8100 to work on his H110. H110 is a Z270 watered down
Z1
or a Z170.
It's not Z anything. It's H.
I know, but it's like
it's a 100 series motherboard.
It came out during Z170.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it came out with Skylake.
So is that a thing? Have you been hearing reports of?
Yeah, there have been a few
Coffee Lake working on that platform.
Getting Coffee Lake to work on old motherboards. There have been a couple of those here and there that I've seen, and they're somewhat interesting. It's not supported, so
yeah,
there's always lots of quirks and weirdness with it and that kind of thing. So
right, I guess it's good if you're.
But hey, if you got it to work and it's working and it's stable for you, then
that's good.
Very good job.
You have to buy a new motherboard. And you saved a shit ton of time not having to swap that out in your system.
Yeah.
Because swapping out the motherboard is the worst thing to do. Leo El Primo, $15. Built my first PC mid-December with your help. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you. You're welcome. 1600, Ryzen 5 1600 with a GTX 1070 Strix. Beautiful card. In the Meshify C. Beautiful case. Is it wise to exhaust up with 2 fans and intake with 1 rear and 2 front? I think you're fine. That's not like an overwhelming amount of positive or negative pressure either way. So, sounds almost neutral to me. You should be alright. Also, the Meshify C has good dust filtration. So, no worries there. I think you're good to go. Beautiful system. Thank you very much for the donation, sir. Guido Salducci for the $5. Is there a PowerLink adapter for the Asus Strix A8G 1070 Ti? I'm interested in diverting the power cables to the sides and back. PowerLink, is he talking about the EVGA?
The PowerLink is an EVGA adapter.
Yeah.
And it's pretty flexible. You can take the little plugs inside it and unscrew a little screw and move them around and whatever to be compatible with different cards. I'm not sure with that specific Asus Strix card if there's a different or unique placement of the power connectors. Like the Sapphire card we were looking at that had the 2 that were right in the middle of the card would not work with that. So if they're in a pretty standard location at the edge of the card, then it would probably be okay because the PowerLink is pretty adjustable, but you might need to look up that card specifically to figure that out.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Zane Winter, $5. It's sad when the best value GPU is the Titan XP. and pre-built is the best option right now. Interesting, fascinating, confusing times that we're in right now. I'll have to agree with you there. Jujubes, $13.37. Once again, the magic number. I keep catching you guys late. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year to you too, Jujubes. Glad you're here. Mark Gonzalez. Gonzalez. Not Gonzalez. Gonzalez with an M. $5. No comment. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Monkey Fart 81, $5. Hey, I'm currently conflicted. Should I buy my friend's 1080 Ti or should I keep my 1070 because I want to keep mining Ethereum? Or as he put it, L3M.
What?
Might be a typo there. L3M, unless it's some new crypto coin that I'm not aware of. I don't know. It depends on how much your friend's selling his 1080 Ti for. I will say that if you're paying your own electricity, the 1080 Ti is far less power efficient when mining than the 1070 from the bit of research that I did. So if you like not having an outrageous power bill, I would say keep the 1070. Kajuvra the Warlock, $5. Got a new AOC G2460PF 24-inch gaming monitor, FreeSync, Full HD, 1920 by 1080, TN panel, 144 Hz, 1 millisecond, height adjustable DisplayPort HDMI USB. I can say, oh my god. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You sound
You
sound appropriately
nice
excited about your brand new monitor, which getting a new monitor is pretty freaking amazing. I will say, especially something like that. Congrats. Servants of Tech, $5. Where would I submit for Pimp My PC if I don't use Twitter? Facebook maybe? Always looking for more ideas on aesthetics. At this time, Servants of Tech, I am only accepting submissions on the Twitters. So maybe consider getting yourself just some bullshit Twitter account that you only use for Pimp My PC. People have done it before, and it seems to work for them.
Plus, Kyle gets a nice kickback from Twitter by making it Twitter exclusive.
Haha! I wish that were true.
It's not actually true.
No, not at all. Heather Hansen. Hey, it's my wife. Wifey sauce, everyone. $5. Hi, honey. Here's a little something for you and your date night with Paul tonight.
Oh.
Have fun.
Well, I think my wife's coming too.
It'll be a
I hope
threesome.
that's okay.
Sorry you weren't invited to the
It'll be a
threesome. Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. Oh, it's our $5 coming back to me.
Oh, yeah.
Bass Q3, $5. Love the show, guys. My PC's disk runs at 100% on Windows 10 for the first few minutes of being turned on, despite a complete wipe of the OS. Any ideas?
When you initially turn on your computer, it's pretty normal for it to do system startup things, which might involve a lot of disk access.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be too worried about that. As long as it settles down, it's not always 100% disk activity. You're probably okay.
Yeah. First few minutes, I mean...
Yeah. Just Windows 10, going in there, taking all your personal information, sending it back to Microsoft.
Yeah, you know.
That's pretty much
How else are they going to data mine?
it's to be expected.
Miners be mining. Some nerd named Steve, $5. Hey, this may seem like a stupid question, but what would the bottleneck with the 1080 Ti SLI setup and a Threadripper 1950X be?
You'd be looking at
Your
the...
CPU.
Yeah, there's a... If you look strictly at instructions per clock and gaming scenarios with Intel versus AMD right now and Zen architecture versus what they were using with Coffee Lake, there's about a 7% difference, all things considered. So only in situations where you are CPU limited will your CPU actually potentially cause your 1080 Ti to perform not quite as good as it might if it were paired with like an overclocked 8700K, for example.
Yeah.
But it's not that much. It's pretty minimal, so I wouldn't be too concerned about it. You have a really nice GPU and a really nice CPU. And unless you're playing all your games at 1080, you're probably not going to encounter that CPU limited situation very often, if at all.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with everything you said. Boyson Media.
Boyson Media.
$5. Does my vagina... No.
What?
Does my Amiga...
Amiga.
I read that totally incorrectly.
You did.
Does my Amiga 4000 with video toaster have enough CUDA cores to run Destiny 2? Also, I need a 24-pin serial connector to my monitor. What's an Amiga 4000 with video toaster?
is old things, very old.
Old ass shit. This is a really old computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably not. You probably can't run Destiny 2.
Nope.
Yes, you would need a 24-pin serial connector for your monitor. You probably should get a new computer and a new monitor.
Computer's old. Update it.
You're old. You're an old person. Tyler Black, $5. What would you consider high temperatures at idle for an i5 4690K at 4.5 gigahertz on average band speeds? If you're fixed at 4.5 gigahertz, you're not doing adaptive offset or anything like that, and you're idling, I would say 50s. I mean, probably in the 50s.
40 to 50?
40 to 50 would be fine. Anything beyond that is a little concerning. Okay, let's say you hit 65. As long as you're only hitting like 65, like 1-2% of the time, it's fine. If it's just a random spike, all CPUs do that. But if it's constantly like 65, 66, 65, 66, 69, 62, 61, 66, then I would say check yourself.
But if you are using adaptive frequency and everything, which you should be, because it makes a lot more sense as far as power savings, then your idle shouldn't matter. Your overclock shouldn't affect your idle speed, because when you're idling, it should be running at a very low base frequency.
Yep.
So you should be idling at 28C, maybe low 30s, is what I would expect.
Yeah. Pretty much. And that is pretty much it for the donations for this half of the show.
Yay.
Which means we can quickly shout out some Johnsons. Let me get those up for y'all real quick. Oh my goodness. Oh my great goodness. All right. First Johnson to Benjamin Lamb for the Crystal RGB shirt. Thank you very much, sir.
Johnson to Cameron. Cameron from Kentucky. Got the bottle opener.
Carl B with a Bitwit white logo navy tri-blend t-shirt. Johnston to you, sir.
Andrew from California got the mouse pad set, the sword fight mouse pad set. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Cameron got a double Johnson, picking up a CPU cooler shirt and a medium.
Travis D from Colorado. Oh my gosh, with a big old order of the Zero and Zero from Force shirt and the RGB everything shirt and the gray logo polo shirt and the blue t-shirt. Lots of shirts.
He bought everything in the store. Johnson to Moses. Moses, stay positive. Tri-blend shirt. Still selling hot.
Tyler from Texas, thank you. And Johnson to you for the gaming desk mat set.
Double Johnson for Tyler. He also picked up a Bitwit gaming mouse pad.
And one last big old Johnson to Carl from Texas.
Carl!
Got the stainless steel bottle opener.
Maxwell Johnson to you, sir, for picking up a CPU cooler, the women's shirt, and the CPU cooler Heather Navy t-shirt.
Can't forget those ladies.
Thank you. And one more from Jonathan. Jonathan, beware of bottlenecks shirt and a Bitwit logo, Bitwit circle logo decal, and an overclocking mug. Beautiful. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for all the things that you just bought off of our stores. 100% of the proceeds go straight to us. Thank you very much for watching this half of the show. But don't go anywhere, because we're still going to go on to part 2 or side B on Paul's channel. That's youtube.com/Paul's Hardware. You can follow the link in the description below if you're watching me on YouTube. Otherwise, stay where you are on Twitch, and we will be right back.
Thanks, everybody.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube and this is a re-upload, go ahead and feel free to do some timestamps.
Oh, yeah.
I like timestamps.
Hit the thumbs up button.
Yep.
Okay.